Hello, Carenza, and welcome to Time Team again. Lovely to have a chat with you. Why would you recommend that somebody might watch St. Osyth? What did it show you about archaeology, and why have you got memories of it?
Yeah, I've enjoyed St. Osyth, and it's one of the ones that sticks out particularly in my mind. I think the reason I'd recommend it to other people is because there was quite a clear question. So there was a kind of good story at the beginning, the murder of St. Osyth herself in the 7th century, whenever it was. And there was a good question off the back of that, is that what is the origin of the village, small town that's now still named after her, 1,500 years later? So what's the origins of the town? Good, clear question. And there was also quite a lot of jeopardy in that. So we were fighting the tide. So there was a sort of thing we could only dig on the creek, which was not terribly near the town, but had those timber features, those timber posts sticking out. We didn't know what those timber posts were. We wanted to know that. So there were two different targets. What's the origins of the town? What are those timber features? Timber features were in the estuary, so we could only dig that at low tide. So there was that sort of, every morning when we came back, the site had kind of almost filled itself in again. And I think those questions were quite sort of clear. And so we did a load of digging, test pit digging, very dear to my heart, because I've done a lot of that since, partly inspired by sites like St. Osyth. So we were digging within the town to see what date the finds we'd come up with that were, and did they go back to, or what date did they go back to? And then we were looking at the area near the creek and trying to work out whether this was an entirely modern site, whether it's an older one. And then we had the field walking finds from, a third location. So I think it was, there were three different sites, areas with three different questions, all of which might or might not have produced some answers. So I think that was good. It was a good sort of clear story. I think also there's some great characters in it, and I will never forget Martin Flowerdew, the vicar at the church, who was just absolutely brilliant, really keen to get on with the archaeology. He'd already done some digging in his graveyard, not for burying people, for archaeological purposes. And, we struggled to get him to stop digging, really. And I have enduring memories of Martin sort of up to this depth in the test pit that he dug himself with, and in his dog collar with a pint of beer on the side of the trench. And I don't think the beer made it into the cut, but and he was a lovely chap. And, and we did find the earliest pottery in St. Osyth, in the present town, from that area, but it was much, much later. So we, and the answers worked out in a way. We showed that, contrary to what we thought or suspected, actually the current town is later, appears to be sort of 14th, 15th century, no earlier. The wooden features did appear to, sorry, spoiler alert here, the wooden features did appear to be of archaeological interest, and perhaps more so, but it was a bit of a sort of looked a bit bad at one point, and it looked better. And then, of course, there was all the finds from the field walking out in the field where no one had ever suspected there was a site before, but turned out to be much, much more interesting than we suspected. So it had a bit of everything, really, St. Osyth, I think.